Mm. Absolutely, absolutely. So, hey, we're going to come up here real quick and take a break, and we're going to come right back. But, Sophia, when we come back from break, I want you to give us, we're gonna take some callers here. The phone lines are jumping. But I want you to give us a overview of the third eye, because I read through the treatment, and it's powerful. And I want to ask you about just the name of this corporation, the Rockefellers. I want to ask you about that when we come back from break. So, hey, brothers and sisters, we are kicking it tonight, the Israelite way, and our guest is the mother of the Matrix, Sophia Stewart, and she's giving us the whole rundown about the lawsuit that she's filed against Warner Brothers and how they have taken her work, The Third Eye, and turned it into The Matrix, Terminators, and a whole slew of other movies. So we got a very interesting show tonight. All right. Shalom, everybody. Welcome back to the Israelite Way show, being brought to you by the Israelite Heritage Radio Network. And tonight's show, we have the mother of the Matrix on, Sophia Stewart. And for the first hour, she has gone over a lot of information about her work, The Third Eye, and how Hollywood just took it and raped it. They took it and they did whatever they wanted to do with it, how they wanted to do with it, and they did it, I guess, with such arrogance. This was copywritten work, and they didn't even consider the copyright. So, we know that there's some thugs and thieves and all of that in Hollywood. So we're gonna continue the show, and we're going to take calls in about 10 minutes. So I want Sister Sophia, are you there?
Yes, I am. And
you
need to let people know that they're nothing but Ku Klux Klansmen. It's not thugs and people, just regular people stealing. These are Klansmen that's been stealing the property of people of color for years, for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people really need to know, who the real Ku Klux Klan is, because America's been dummied down to who really people are in this world. And it's a shame.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Because that's property. That's property. And the arrogancy is because it's a group of people who's representing theft from the beginning. They're like sociopaths. They have no consciousness or no guilt or no remorse for stealing. And the arrogance is ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
But that's been going on for years, too. Ignorance.
Mm. Wow. I read some of the treatment of The Third Eye, and it was very fascinating. Me and my wife were sitting down reading it, and she was just blown away how you was just able to just flow with it and just really, you told it in such of a way that we would get the visuals. We can see this story as you were telling it. So can you give us just a brief overview of what The Third Eye, what the movie was about, and what the script was about? Because I also want to know, how did you come up with the Rockefellers, the Rothschild?
It's quite easy. I was doing playing computer games in the early 80s. And what I wrote was the second coming of Christ, the evolution of consciousness, man versus machine. What the whole story was about, when Christ comes back again, he would be born, he would be reborn and come through the womb. So he came up back on the earth, and he would be up against the machines. He would have to evolve. So if you look at the Matrix is a Latin word for womb. And you look at the Terminator, the woman who has the baby who's part of the prophecy. Well, Sarah Connor is Neo's mother. Neo is just an anagram or a sneaky way of calling him the One. Because as you remember in the Bible, he's called the One. Mm-hmm. And he has to be born again, and what would he be up against? He'd be up against technology, the machine, and the future. And who would be running that? I'm talking about the Illuminatis, because Rockefellers, that's where I combined the Rockefellers name with the Rothschilds. That's why you saw Rockefellers.
And so they were the head. No, go ahead.
That's the government. That is the government. Because the Christ walk upon the earth is show you how you can evolve spiritually and how you can ascend into your 4D body. You will come through the womb, and when you come through the womb, being reborn, you would receive a soul. And once you receive that soul, you would have to evolve, and you will have to have that walk, just like the butterfly. It is like a little worm, a caterpillar crawling upon the earth, and then it goes into its cocoon, and then it comes out in his 4D light body. It's a beautiful butterfly. He's flying. He's ascended the same way Neo is in the movie. He goes through the pod. His human side dies. The corruption is cleansed of him, and the energy goes inside of him, and he's in his 4D light body, and he has ascended, and he's flying. He's not Superman, but he's evolved consciously and spiritually, and his walk, or the path of Neo, or the walk of Christ, is to show you how you can evolve and how you can ascend into your light bodies. You've heard of ascension. You've heard of the light body. You heard when Christ came upon the earth the first time, how he was in the cave for 3 days and how he came out. They recognized him through his eyes. They recognized his soul, but his body had transformed into a 4D light body. No one has ever explained this to any of you the way I have written this. And when you see the Terminator, he comes in a burning blue meteorite. He lands naked out of the flame, naked without shame. And I know you guys saw that in the movie script. Come on, am I right or wrong?
Right, absolutely.
Now, how could James Cameron have created that original concept if it was already written and copywritten in 1981? And he claimed his treatment came in 1982, before my copywritten 83 book. But I got letters and registered receipts, letters of access, registered receipts, copyrights from the registrar's office to prove that he's a liar and a thief, and that he didn't create anything. And I'll tell him in his face, or any of his lawyers or anybody, any media, they're welcome to see the truth. And guess what? There's nothing they can do about the truth. That's why I can call myself the mother of the Matrix. I can sell any of the Matrix and Terminator. I'm using the images for years, and no one has made a public statement against me. None of them have dared to say that Sophia Stewart did not write the Matrix or the Terminator.
Right.
The only one that's calling me liars or naysayers are people who have not a thing to do with it and don't even understand what theft is about, or what law is about, for that matter.
By James Cameron confessing to Harlan Ellison about Harlan Ellison, the theft of his material, it reflects a pattern of theft.
That's correct. This is one of my colleagues, Dinesh Hunter, speaking.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Dinesh.
It reflects a pattern of theft, and once you have gone public and you told the public that you've stolen, it automatically invalidates the copyright. No one in the court system can come and refute Ms. Stewart by saying that the copyright is invalid, because he's already admitted to stealing from Harlan Ellison.
And not only did he admit stealing from Harlan Ellison, he put Harlan Ellison's name on the product. Then he took Harlan Ellison's name off because it's an admission of fraud against the federal government, the Copyright Registrar's Office. And my protective expression, he has it verbatimly. Coming out of the flames, the Terminator, naked without shame. That is my totally original protective expression, totally copywritten. And he's made a confession.
It's a confession on his. He confessed to taking it from her work.
And he doesn't have any valid copyrights. They offered him all kinds of money, all kinds of everything back in the day to continue the Terminator, and he refused because he couldn't carry on any creativity because he doesn't got any. And you can look at Avatar. They have given him a license to steal. Who has given him a license to steal? And to be bold and arrogant and to say you've stolen copywritten material, that you perpetrated a fraud on the Copyright Registrar's Office. And you know that overturns all the cases? That overturns all the cases. If James Cameron gets away with stealing copywritten material, all the people who are locked up for bootleg and piracy and downloading are free to go.
Right.
The government does not arrest James Cameron.
So who
are invalidated?
Whose name is actually on those scripts, The Matrix and the Terminators? Who is actually credited with writing those?
The Wachowskis, lying, thieving Wachowski brothers, Andy and Larry, homosexuals. And I call them homosexuals because one of them is going to have a sex change. They want a dominatrix. And he's going to sit there. They can't even do anything. They can't even write anything. They're buying it. They bought Alan Moore's work, V for Vendetta. They bought Speed Racer, Japanese man's work.